Good evening, everyone. How you guys doing tonight? Welcome to Sin City Crypto, the night stream. My name is David. I'll be your one and only co-host for tonight. Thank God, no Olas, no bad pronunciations. All jokes aside, we typically do a live stream Monday through Friday at 10:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. But today we are doing a night stream for all the people that don't catch us during the day. So if you're new here, please say hello. We'd love to welcome you to our channel. So let's get this show started. If you haven't hit the like button, please do me a favor and hit the like button. And if you want more night streams, hit the like button again and then hit it again, because if you do it twice, it'll unlike the video. All right, so we have some good stuff to cover today. So obviously, Bitcoin and the crypto markets kind of went down. So did the stock market went down as well. The NASDAQ was down over 200 points today. Bitcoin went from 23.8 down to 22.6 at one point. And so why did it go down? Well, the first thing for me is I look at, okay, what are the upcoming events for this week, right? You have the Fed meeting. You have earnings reports for the tech companies like Meta, Amazon, Google, and the other tech companies. Anyways, you also have the jobs report coming out on Friday. And so what's going to happen is, well, let's take a look here. Let's take a look at what the CME futures think, right? So this is the Chicago Mercantile Exchange. And so this essentially, sorry about that, guys. This essentially measures what the sentiment among traders are as far as what is the Fed going to do? Is the Fed going to hike? What are the probabilities they're going to hike? 25, 50, whatever the case may be. So right now, what you're looking at is a 99.1% probability, is what the traders think, of a 25-point basis hike, right? 25, so 0.25 interest rate hikes, which will bring us to that 450 to 475 range. We do know Jerome Powell, he has said numerous times, they want to be at their terminal rate, they want it to be around 5.1. So if we do get this 0.25 interest rate hike, we're about half a basis point away, 50 basis points away from where we are now to where the Fed wants us to be. So you might be saying, okay, well, they've gone 75, 75, 75, and then we had 50 in December. We're obviously slowing down. Inflation's coming down. It looks like inflation did peak in June at 9.1. Why did the markets tank? Okay, and so I want to swap over to this article that I found. So Jerome Powell, which if you don't know, he's the Fed chair, he gave a speech in Sweden, right? And so this is sourced from Forbes, and this is kind of what he said. And so, of course, when we hear 25 basis points, what's going on? Everyone's like, all right, that's it. They're going to cut rates. They're not going to cut rates. Here's what he said. Restoring price stability when inflation is high can require measures that are not popular in the short term as we raise interest rates to slow the economy. The absence of direct political control over our decisions allows us to take these necessary measures without considering short-term political factors. Now, if you didn't know, the Fed is completely separate from government. They're not. They don't have to answer to anyone. Now, the chair position is elected by the president, and which was weird that Jerome Powell got to keep his seat, because typically when you have a change from Republican to Democrat or Democrat to Republican, they will appoint their own Fed chair, their own secretary, head of the secretary. And so that's not what happened. And so they kept him, which I thought was a good idea, because the last thing you want to do is we get into the pandemic, you get a new Fed chair that comes in, and traders don't like that. And so why did crypto go down? Okay. Here's my theory, and I'm going to swap over to Bitcoin exchanges. Okay. So this is from CoinGlass. This is the Bitcoin balance on exchanges. And you can see the net over the last 24 hours, we've seen an inflow of over 4,300 Bitcoin moving onto exchanges over the last 24 hours, right? Which is in contrast to over the last 7 days, where we've seen over 6,000 Bitcoin leave the exchanges. And then we take a look at, all right, well, what did the NASDAQ do? Okay, so this is the NASDAQ Composite Index, the IXIC on the daily. And we can see here, since the beginning of this month, we have seen a rise from the NASDAQ, and I'm going to take this measurement here. So we're just going to go from the beginning of this month. Let's just go from Tuesday, January 3rd, okay? We've seen an increase of about 13% in the NASDAQ. And so what a lot of people are saying is, hey, yes, crypto up, what goes up or what comes down must go up. That is true. And what goes up must come down as well. What a lot of people are saying is, all right, the Fed, they want to siphon liquidity out of the market. That's the whole point of quantitative tightening. We've seen the M2 money supply come down. The Fed wants people to pull money out of the stock market. They don't want to invest in risk on assets, right? They want to bring supply back up to meet demand. And so the last thing the Fed wants is for them to keep hiking, and people are still dumping money into the markets, dumping money into the stock market. So what a lot of people think is, hey, the Fed is looking at this last 15% rally over the last 30 days in January to start the year as these guys, these traders and investors, they're not catching our drift. They're not listening to what we're saying. They're not taking us serious. And so what a lot of people think is, A, we might get 50 basis points, which I don't think is going to happen. Or B, we might get an ultra hawkish press conference from Jerome Powell on Wednesday, which, by the way, guys, I believe this will be one of the most important FOMC meetings. You have a few things happening. You have the FOMC voters are changing. So we're getting a couple more doves in and a couple hawks out versus last year. And so a lot of people are saying, hey, these doves are going to have a louder voice in the room. And based off of what they decide to do, they might even pause it. Now, we all know, and I'm sure you guys, if you're watching, you can agree, which, by the way, chat, I'm going to do some Q&A at the end. I'm by myself, and I don't like to ramble like my friend Robin does. So please stay active in the chat, comment, ask questions. I have the chat right in front of me, so I'll definitely highlight those as well. But I mean, are you guys with me? There is no way that they're going to cut interest rates, right? And I think the probability of them not going anything, not even 25, is probably like 2%, if that. And so it is what it is. But what I think, looking at what the NASDAQ did, what Bitcoin exchanges are happening, I think and part of it too, and I believe, is people saw this rally, right? Anytime you have an FOMC meeting, there's a lot of volatility. Whether it's moves to the upside, moves to the downside, people pay attention to every single word Jerome Powell has to say. And so some traders like volatility. Some traders don't like volatility. I'll tell you what though, hedge funds and VC firms and companies that invest big, they typically stay on the sidelines. They typically stay on the sidelines until Jerome Powell comes out and speaks. We get more of a clear direction as to what 2023 has in store for us. Is he going to ease up on the hawkish sentiment? Is he going to say, hey, a reversal is coming soon? What is he going to say? And so what I think happened is we saw a 13% rise in the NASDAQ. We saw Bitcoin so far this year is up around 35% in the month of January. And so people, they've been taking L's for the last 6 months. Since May, June, July of last year, people, especially in the crypto markets, have been taking L's. And so if you bought Bitcoin at 16.5, or if you bought the NASDAQ when it was down and now you're up 14%, you're taking liquidity, you're taking your money out of the market, you're keeping it on the sideline, and you're going to wait to hear what Jerome Powell has to say. So that's what I think is happening. Money is sitting on the sidelines, and I do expect a lot of volatility, not just for Bitcoin, but for the NASDAQ, for the Dow Jones, for traditional markets, for everything come Wednesday at 11 a.m. when Jerome Powell has a speech on what the FOMC did. All right. So we're also going to talk about a few things. So actually, I'm going to swap over here and I'm going to show you guys. So this just broke. And I am super excited. The judge in the FTX Sam Bankman-Fried case rules the identities of the two people who helped secure his $250 million bail can be made public. So soon. So they have until February 7th to file an appeal, which who knows what that'll happen, or I'm not sure exactly how that gets dragged on or not, if they're going to be appealed and if they appeal it again and blah, 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 blah. But we're going to find out who those two people are that put their neck on the line for one of the biggest fraudsters in the history of not just crypto, but the American economy. And so drop some names, guys. Who do you think it is? Hoosier McCrypto said Kevin O'Leary. I can see that. Dave Digital said it was Ben Armstrong. I can't see that. Let me know what you guys think. Who do you think has that kind of money and resources to pledge their assets and to pledge their money and, you know, whatever they have to letting Sam Bankman-Fried out of jail? And so we'll keep you up to date on that. Again, guys, they have until February 7th to come up with an appeal, to file an appeal, and then we'll see what the judge says. But as of right now, the judge said that these can be public. So if you like that news, make sure to hit the like button. Excuse me. I found this thread on Twitter. This is Ben Stiller. You guys are funny. Timmy said Tom Brady. Okay, maybe. Could the parents have done it? Yeah, the parents could have definitely done it. We know they put up their house as collateral. Who else could it be? Who knows? All right, so this is from Jason Yanowitz from Blockworks. He put out this Twitter thread, which I thought was pretty interesting. And so if you're watching, I'm going to need you guys to help me out. I want you to give me your thoughts as I'm reading through this, and I'll kind of share some of those out loud. So he said, buckle up. We've entered the toughest phase of the bear market. Welcome to stage 3. As a reminder, stage 1 was the unwind. The excitement plus the greed from the bull market still existed. Narratives popped up, valuations got cut, but companies didn't kill products or do layoffs. Stage 1 didn't feel like a bear. It felt like we pulled back to realistic valuations. Then we had stage 2, which was forced capitulation. This is where it got ugly. Narratives died. Prices fell 90%, then another 90%. Layoffs across the board. Mainstream media rose up. They laughed. They shouted. They said, I told you so. And in stage 2, prices crashed violently. Excitement was replaced by anger. And he goes on to say, we're now out of stage 2 and into stage 3. Welcome to the bottomless exhaustion stage. There will be no narratives. Prices will consolidate sideways. It'll be boring. Where we're at now, anger has been replaced by silence. From max pain to max exhaustion, your enemy is now apathy. This is the toughest part of the bear market. This will be the year you work long days and ship great products, only to see your key metrics go down day after day. Your friends will leave, your coworkers will leave. You'll question every assumption you had about crypto. In bull markets, you can be productive on a Tuesday and see the outcome of your efforts by Wednesday. But in bear markets, you won't see the outcome of your efforts for another 12 plus months. It's effing draining. But bear markets don't test talent. They test perseverance. And I'm going to 100% agree with what Jason Yanowitz said. Bear markets don't test talent. They test perseverance. And so, guys, the Twitter handle here is at Jason Yanowitz. I'll kind of make this a little bigger so you guys can see. Definitely go follow him. He puts out a lot of great stuff. I really enjoyed reading this thread. And so if you guys enjoyed reading that thread, let me know as well. We also have Magic Internet Money in here. Keegan said, just on my personal account. Well, now you're fully doxxed, my friend. So, all right, let's take a quick peek here. So we got 54 people in here. Man, what the hell is going on, guys? Have you guys shared the stream? Are you following me on? Go follow Sin City Crypto 1 on YouTube and make sure to share the stream. We only got 54 people in here. So, help us out, bring some people in here, and make sure you hit the like button as well. All right, let's take a look at what the crypto markets are doing. And I'm going to swap over screens here, and I'll share my screen here in a second. Also, guys, if you're new here, this isn't our typical go time. We typically go at 10:30 a.m. Pacific time, Monday through Friday. We have a co-host and a whole production team. This is kind of just a new thing we're trying out. Night streams on Mondays. So if you like it, make sure you hit the like and the subscribe button. All right. Let's take a look at where the cryptos are. Bitcoin is back. It's about to retest 23,000, sitting at 22.9 currently, up 0.15% over the last 1 hour. ETH is coming in at 1572, followed by BNB. XRP. It was consolidating at that 40-cent level, which was right around support, and it's consolidating at 39 cents now. XRP hasn't really had any violent moves. And I don't think we're going to see anything like that until we start hearing some whispers of, hey, judgment's coming, or hey, there's a settlement coming. So Cardano 37 cents, which by the way, if you caught the morning stream today, we had a video from our friend Forrest about the new Jed stablecoin that is launching on Cardano. Did he say you're fired? You're fired, Robin. You and Rocco, you guys are both fired. So we had a debate on the morning show. Is it going to be successful? Is it not going to be successful? A lot of people, we know a lot of people hate the name. But like I said in the morning stream, if there's any person or any project or any foundation that I would trust to run something the right way, like an algorithmic stablecoin, it would be Cardano, it would be Charles, and it would be IOHK. These guys are methodical in every single thing they do. Their biggest thing is you're too slow, you take too long. Well, when we saw UST fail and USDD's been depegged for months now, and there was another algorithmic stablecoin that depegged to like 50 cents. The name's not coming to my head right now. So if you remember which one it was, put it in the chat. So the way it's set up, though, is very interesting because there's going to be, outside of Jed and ADA, there's going to be something called the Shen token. And the Shen token essentially derives its value from the minting and burning fees of the stablecoin Jed. And so there's certain limitations to when you can burn, when you can mint, when you can, and when you can't. And the aim is to have it between 400% to 800% over collateralized. Do I think it's going to work? Yes. Do I think it's going to get adoption? No. UST was less than a year ago, guys. It was 7-8 months ago. And that taste is still on people's tongues, that nasty, rancid taste of having hundreds of thousands of dollars in a stable coin earning 20% yield and this thing going down to 7 cents. So that is still on people's minds. And you know who else's minds it's on? People in the US, the Congress people, the people who make laws and regulations. We've heard time and time again, regulation is coming. And guess what? Guess what the very first area that they talk about regulating? It's stable coins. And so can Cardano launch? It goes great. And then senators step in or Congress steps in and passes a law that says, hey, only chartered banks or banks that are let's just say, have an account with the Fed or whatever stipulations they put in place. Those are the only ones that can issue stable coins. What if they do that? That'll essentially blackball and blacklist every other, like USDT would be blacklisted, USDC would. And so timing, horrible. Do I think it'll work in the future? Yes. Do I think we need an algorithmic stable coin? I do. Because the whole point of DeFi and crypto was to take the middleman out of it. And if you have a USDC Circle or USDT Tether or BUSD Binance, if you have a central entity that has control over the minting and burning or control over the stablecoin issuance, that's an issue. That's not decentralized. And we want to be decentralized. And then we have Doge coming in at 9 cents. Now, Doge did pump because there was news that Elon Musk applied for a payments license to integrate payments into crypto or onto Twitter. And so we know they opened up the someone killed a vulture at the Dallas. Come on, Pat, to throw you off. All right, so now I forgot where I was at. Payment integration on Twitter. So a lot of people, of course, anytime you hear Elon Musk and payments or Elon Musk and crypto or Twitter and crypto, first thing people do is they think of Dogecoin. And he has come out and there was no plans on crypto, but he kind of left it open. So some people think there's going to be a Twitter coin, or some people think they're going to launch their own, whatever the case may be. But chances are pretty good that we'll get at least some sort of crypto integration. Will that be Doge? Will that be Bitcoin? Some people have said Litecoin. Who knows? That remains to be seen. And then rounding out the top 10, we have Polygon Matic coming in at $1.09. Even on the last hour, down 5.5% over the last 24 hours. So I want to swap over, before I dive into some charts here, I want to swap over to CryptoRank.io. And if you guys want more than just, hey, what's the price action of the last 24 hours? What's the market cap? I highly recommend you use CryptoRank.io. You can, and I'll show you guys here, actually not filter, sorry guys. You can go to layout and you can look at all these you can choose from, right? You can have price change per year, 6 months, Q4, Q1, 30 days, 3 months, month to date. You can also put on volatility, circulating supply, volume divided by market cap, rate on return on investment. So what I have here is I threw on volatility, change 24 hours, market cap, and the percentage it's off of its all-time high. let's just take a look at the top 10 cryptocurrencies and who is the highest off its all-time high. You have XRP 90% off its all-time high, followed by Cardano at 87.9% off its all-time high. Dogecoin, we talk about Filecoin. We've been talking about Filecoin on our channel a lot lately. And if I swap down, another big one is Stellar Lumens is down 90% from its all-time high. Where are you, Filecoin? There we go. Filecoin down 97.8% off its all-time high. And so this is a good idea, guys, because typically these coins, well, I would say 99% of these coins in the top 100 made their all-time high in the last bull market. And so the way your thinking has to be is this, right? Your thinking has to be, okay, what's a solid project I believe in that's going to come back in the next bull market? And how much room do I have to run, right? And so you take a look at, let's just say, BNB. BNB is only down 55%, right? So for it to get to its all-time high, you're looking at a 2x, right? It was a little under $700. Is that risk to reward worth it? Or would you rather go down to, let's say, Cardano, which is down 88% from its all-time high? You're looking at a 10x or less, like a 7 or 8x. You go further down and you take a look at something like, and I'll say it again, something like Filecoin, which Kenny G, if you're in here, say, what's up, my dude? No, Kenny G is my biggest hater, is also a big Filecoin guy. But if you take a look at Filecoin, and you know what? I'm actually going to, I'm going to change the filter here and I'm going to add all-time high layout. So we're going to take away volatility and we're going to add all-time high, price all-time high, and we're going to take a look. All-time high. There we go. All-time high price. All right. So all-time high price. We go down. Cardano, $3.08 is sitting at 37 cents. You're looking at almost a 10x. Polygon Matic, $2.91. You're looking at almost a 3x. But I think this right here, I think Polygon is going to completely blow through this all-time high price. I'm expecting Polygon to be anywhere between $8 to $12 in the next bull cycle. And that's, in my opinion, that's on the conservative end, in my opinion. I mean, the partnerships, they continue to make time and day after day and week after week. I'm telling you guys, Polygon Matic, they also layer 1. They can run EVM. They're a layer 2 on Ethereum as well. Polygon is going to flourish. We've seen a lot of projects move to Polygon. Solid team, solid tokenomics. 9 billion out of the 10 billion total supply is already circulating, so you don't have to worry about super high inflation on token. And just to kind of show you on, and I'm going to go back to Filecoin yet again, $235, $235 all-time high on Filecoin, and you're looking at $5. And we covered this on the show earlier today, Filecoin news, that they're working, I believe it was with NASA or something with space, where their IFPS system, it's going to essentially aggregate information and content and kind of store it in their storage thing and have it accessible, content addressed. That's going to be big. We know governments are dumping a ton of money into space research. So Filecoin is a project. And, you know, I haven't bought any Filecoin lately, but I'm feeling the FOMO here a little bit, guys. I'm feeling the FOMO. Timmy said he got Matic at 13 cents. That's amazing, dude. That's amazing. Good call. You know, that brings something up. What has been your best buy? Okay. What has been your best investment in altcoins that you've made? Share that with me. I'm extremely curious to know. Share that. What was the best one you made? So, all right, let's swap over to some charts. So I have the Bitcoin chart on the 1 hour pulled up here. So, all right, you know me, I like flags, and this is no bueno. We are seeing a bear flag forming here on the 1 hour. This, if you're not familiar with what a bear flag is, this is a move to the downside followed by an uptrending channel. These typically, probabilities of these breaking to the downside are roughly around 70 to 75%. And so expect Bitcoin to break to the downside. Of course, this is on the 1 hour. If I take these drawings away, and what I like to do is I like to throw on the Ichimoku cloud. Kind of gives you a broad base like picture as far as where we're looking at support and resistance, right? And so on the 1 hour here, we are currently trading at the conversion line. Typically for a bullish scenario, you do want to see this blue line, which is a conversion line, be above the baseline. You can see here when we make that swap, price tends to follow. Now we did break through this cloud here. We broke inside of it. We came up, built support on top, but that wasn't enough. Retested it again as resistance, dropped all the way back down. And so immediately on the lower time frames, 23,400 is the area that I'd be looking at as resistance. Now, where can it fall if the bull flag does play out and fall to the downside? So just taking a glance here, and here, let me bring myself to the thing here. Just zooming out, taking a glance. I'm like, all right, what are some levels here? Okay. And so this might be a good level, right? 22,600. Another level, if we do break below that, is going to be this level right here. 22,425. Sorry, the first one was 22,600, right? We consolidated in this area, flipped below, came back above, came back down, we tested, and then when we broke this 22.6, that's when we saw the big move, the nice big green candle from, that was a massive day from 22.9 up to $23,600 in just 1 hour. So, but expect, if we do break out of this bear flag here on the 1 hour, expect it to test this level, this $22,600 level. If we break below, expect it to find immediate support at 22.4. If it breaks below that, we are looking at sub 22K. If I keep going down, and I'm actually going to take off the Ichimoku cloud and take a look here. So this is the other level I'd be looking at here, guys, is right at 21,400. If we break below that, I would say absolute worst case scenario on the shorter time frames would be 20,600. Tons of volume in this area as well. Now, during the morning stream, someone mentioned the Dixie. Dixie was moving. So this is Dixie coming. So Dixie on the 4 hour. We were in a falling wedge, which these do typically break to the upside, and it did break to the upside. And so this is exactly what you want to see. Breaking out of a pattern is a confirmation, right? You break out of it, you come back, retest the support line, which we kind of did. We wicked down here, not fully, but we wicked down here. And so now look for the Dixie to move up. Of course, with the Fed meeting and us expecting Jerome Powell to raise the interest rates 25 basis points, we should expect the Dixie to move higher. If you're not familiar with the Dixie, guys, it is a dollar index. It measures the dollar strength. It measures it against basket of other currencies like the Japanese yen, Chinese yuan, the euro, all that, so on and so forth. And so when we're in a restrictive monetary phase and they're raising interest rates and they're siphoning money out of, and they're siphoning, the M2 supply goes down and they're siphoning liquidity out of the markets, the dollar gains strength and value. This is why I believe it was either the International Bank of International Settlements, or it was one of the international bank bodies. It might have been the IMF or the ICB. They said, what countries like the US should stop if they continue to raise rates and stay in a restrictive policy, it's going to harm emerging markets. And which I'll go back to what Jerome Powell said, right? They don't care. They do not care. Jerome Powell does not care. Without considering short-term political factors, they do not care who it harms. And so, which, I mean, do you guys agree? Should they care about how it affects other emerging markets? Let me know. HP said, what are your top 5 altcoins for the next bull run? I will answer that question, but not yet. I promise I will answer that question. Anyways, guys, if you have any other questions, please throw them out there. Not a lot of people in here, so that'll give a good chance if you guys do want to ask some questions or do some Q&A at the end, or let your voice be heard. And so big shout out to Timmy. He said, change it to 240, which I will, my friend. I will. And so row size, here we go. 240. And also shout out to AJ. He kind of showed me this, the VRVP, the volume profile, the range profile. So, all right. So ETH, guys, I'm seeing the same thing here. And this is the thing with crypto. Typically on the same time frames, you do see the same things unfold. Again, guys, this looks like a bear flag to me. Again, if we go down to the daily though, and we take a look at what is a daily telling us, right? What kind of candles are we seeing? And so we saw a big move to the upside, and it looks like on the daily, we have made a lower high from the top here. And so not by much, but we haven't made a lower low, which is what you want to see for a bull flag pattern to emerge. We saw a mini bull flag here on the daily. We broke to the upside, and now it kind of looks like we were starting to, but a higher low came in here. We wanted to see a lower low close right around that 1518 or open at 1518 for us to be like, all right, we're in a bull flag, but that did not happen. But as far as some support and resistance for ETH, let's go ahead and get rid of this drawing. And let's throw on my favorite, the Ichimoku cloud. All right, so in the immediate, right, and just by looking here, the Ichimoku, I'm looking at this cloud as support, which brings us right around this $1,450 range, which coincide. And if we break below that and we're breaking the cloud, we do have a decent amount of volume here, right around 1391. We're not oversold or overbought on the stochastic, so that's good. We're still bullish on the Ichimoku. We're still showing bullish. And if I swap over to the Heikinashi candles, which kind of tells us, gives us a better view of what a lot of big wicks, guys. So a lot of uncertainty in the market. We have printed or starting to print a large bodied red candle, which is typically, if you just take a look at the trend we had. I mean, look at this, guys. From the beginning of the month, nothing but giant green bodied candles. We saw a couple drawdowns here and we resumed. Will we see something similar? Probably not. This conversion line would be a good support level as well, right around $1,457. So those are some levels to keep an eye out. Let's take a peek at what Aptos is doing. Talked about this on the show earlier. I did go long on Aptos on the 4-hour. I saw a bull flag forming that did break to the downside. And here's what you guys got to remember too. It's very, very important. Flags and patterns and all this and that, guys, those are probabilities. Does not mean that it's going to happen. But this is why I love using Ichimoku. Look at this. Just perfect support right at the tip end of this cloud, which is right around $16.70. I do expect us to trade sideways for a little bit. And again, guys, this is on the 4-hour. But Aptos still looking bullish. If this cloud holds, we're looking good. If we break below this cloud, good news too is if we do break below the cloud, I will be looking at getting back in on a long on Aptos right around this, let's just call it $12.91 to this $13.96 range. Tons of volume there, so we should see price move up. All right, let's talk about some news. And all right, so we didn't get to cover this today, but this is kind of interesting. All right, let me get a quick swig of water here. So Hoosier, it is called the Ichimoku cloud. Ichimoku cloud. It's 5 moving averages and kind of gives you a broad view of support, resistance, and what we can expect. So, all right. So this is from the White House, whitehouse.gov. This was released 3 days ago. I believe it was released over the weekend, so we didn't get a chance to cover it. We didn't get a chance to cover it today either. But the administration's roadmap to mitigate cryptocurrencies risks. I have a few things highlighted that I want to go over. As an administration, our focus is on continuing to ensure that cryptocurrencies cannot undermine financial stability, to protect investors, and to hold bad actors accountable. I'm going to go full screen for you guys. This thing goes on to say, to be sure, the technologies powering cryptocurrencies may offer ways to make payments faster, cheaper, and safer, but this framework identifies clear risks. For example, some cryptocurrency entities ignore applicable financial regulations and basic risk controls, practices that protect the country's households, businesses, and economy. Cryptocurrency platforms and promoters often mislead consumers, have conflicts of interest, fail to make adequate disclosures, or commit outright fraud. Okay, I'm going to stop there for a quick second. Is there anything so far that I've read that you guys disagree with? And take your political affiliation out of this. Whether you lean left, you lean right, you vote the Republican, Democrat, you love Biden, you hate Biden, right? Take your emotion out of this and think about this. Some cryptocurrencies, crypto entities ignore financial regulation, risk controls, right? They mislead consumers. Yes, they do. There was and this is the other article that kind of ties into this, and I'll hop over here. Gemini is being investigated for emphasizing there was FDIC insurance on their Earn program. We saw the same thing with Voyager, right? And yeah, in the fine print, it states that no, Metropolitan Bank was FDIC insured. But guys, really, who reads the fine print? If you read the fine print, give yourself a pat on the back. But 95% of people don't even open up the fine print to read it, let alone go through and read the entire thing, or an entire terms of service that's 80 pages long. I mean, our freaking government officials who vote on legislation can't even read a 100-page thing before they vote on something. So I agree, right? They lie to people. They mislead them, whether it's, what do they say? Promoters, right? Promoters of projects, promoters of NFT project, marketing departments of crypto exchanges. We're fully backed 1-to-1. You have Alex Mashinsky coming out days before the thing went insolvent and saying, we're fine, we're back to 1-to-1. If that's not misleading, guys, I don't know what is. Commit outright fraud. We've obviously seen Sam Bankman-Fried, and it talks about poor cybersecurity. And so, can you really disagree with anything that I've said so far? Let me know what you guys think. Do you disagree? Do you agree with what I read so far? Let's continue. The banking agencies issued joint guidance just this month on the imperative of separating risky digital assets from the banking system. Agencies across government have launched or are now developing public awareness programs to help consumers understand the risks of buying cryptocurrencies. It also goes on to say enforcement agencies are devoting increased resources to combating illicit activities involving digital assets. In the coming months, the administration will also unveil priorities for digital assets research and development, which will help the technologies powering cryptocurrencies protect consumers by default. I mean, I don't know. It sounds good. Yay. We're going to put more assets. We're going to pump more money into the regulators to make sure that stuff doesn't happen. Yeah, I don't really trust them to do that. Congress should expand regulators' powers to prevent misuses of customer assets, aka they want the SEC to have more control. To aid law enforcement, it could strengthen penalties for violating illicit finance rules and subject cryptocurrency intermediaries to bans against tipping off criminals. So this one, I kind of agree, right? Strengthening penalties. So Alex Mashinsky lied and said everything is fine and even kept deposits open when he knew the company was insolvent. He should be raked over the coals for that. Maybe it'll stop people from doing it in the future. I don't know. But yes, that I agree. They should strengthen the penalties and up these things that, like Sam Bankman-Fried, if he gets, first of all, he should not get a plea deal. I don't care. He should not get a plea deal. You should serve every single year the maximum sentence that is allowable under law for what he did to people, ruining people's lives, customers, businesses, entities, governments, everything, right? Flat out fraud, okay? And other things, like what I talked about with Mashinsky, those should be penalized harshly as well. If you lie to people and you coerce people into dumping more money into your exchange, and on the back end, you cash out, knowing that in 2 days, you're going to have to hold withdrawals. It should be more than just 5 years and a slap on the wrist. It should be something that people will think twice before they make that decision. It goes on to say, legislation should not greenlight mainstream institutions like pension funds to dive headlong into crypto markets. So here's where it gets a little tricky here. So you had Fidelity come out and start offering Bitcoin in their IRAs and their 401ks. And there was news that BlackRock, I believe the other one was, what was the other one? BlackRock, two other big ones. They're looking into starting to expand into digital assets and Bitcoin. And so What are we supposed to do? We're supposed to wait till the White House or our split Congress to come up with some sort of legislation that makes sense, that doesn't harm innovation in our country, for them to come out, for these companies to come out and give exposure to the people that want exposure. You're saying Gary Gensler on one hand says we're not approving a spot ETF because it's filled with manipulation and prices aren't real and the volume isn't real and there's too much criminal activity going on. Well, you have the largest hedge funds and portfolio managers that are regulated, that are registered with the bodies you want these crypto companies to be registered in, and you're saying no. So what is it? What is it? That's what's so infuriating to me, and I bet it's infuriating to you watching as well, is they speak out of both sides of their mouth. They say one thing and then they do the other thing, or they do one thing and say another thing. And so that is complete BS. If people want exposure, let them have exposure, right? If you're investing 20 grand into Bitcoin, you got that 20 grand somehow. You're not stupid, right? And so you're not going to put 20 grand into something where you don't at least do a little bit of research, right? So that's my thing. And the final thing, the administration wholeheartedly supports responsible technological innovations that make financial services cheaper, faster, safer, and more accessible. Again, speaking out of both sides of their mouth. Also, got a super chat from HP. Said, show David some love. Show me some love, baby. Hit the like button. I'm curious, how many people we got? How many people we got up in here? Let's take a gander here. How many people we got up in this live stream? So there is now 69 of you, and we have 65 likes. That's pretty good. So I can't yell at you for the likes as well. Let me see if there's any new people in here. So we got Sistine Research in here. Guys, if you're not familiar, our man Forrest is in here. Said the ratio is tight. 67 viewers and 65 likes. I agree. So guys, if you're not subscribed to both Sistine Research, our friend Forrest, and also Magic Internet Money, do yourselves a favor and go subscribe. Great content. Also, I'm in Forrest gave me access to his Discord. This dude, the stuff he publishes in the Research Hub is phenomenal. You'd be missing out if you're not in there. Just my 2 cents. All right, let's go on to some other couple quick hitters here, real quick. So, what you doing? What you doing? You're on camera. Say what's up. Throw that like sign up, bro. That's right. That's my little soccer star right there. I don't have a bird, but I got a kid.
I thought you said you were alone.
I am alone, but you know, you're my boy. You're over there taking Robin's spot. That mic is off, son. So I wish I could let you do an all out, but you can't. Anyways, guys, this is my my little soccer superstar, my oldest Thomas. He's telling you.
Like and subscribe
Yeah.
to the video.
Said like and subscribe to the video. All right, back to me. Thank you, Thomas. Thank you for that, Thomas. We appreciate it. All right, so let's hop on here. Galaxy Digital's Mike Novogratz says institutions waiting for a key indicator to flash before eyeing crypto. Now, before I show you what it is, okay, what do you think this one key indicator could be, right? Mike Novogratz says institutions are waiting for a key indicator before entering crypto. What do you think that is? Throw some guesses out there, right? I'm curious because when I read this, I was like, what? It's a little odd. You'd figure they want the opposite to happen. But here we are. All right. Without further ado, what does Mike Novogratz think will bring institutions in? So the biggest players are waiting for a certain sign from the crypto markets before looking at allocating capital to the nascent asset class. In a new interview with Raoul Pal on Real Vision, the crypto veteran says that institutions have mostly done all the due diligence they need on the space, but may be waiting for retail traders to jump in first. So they want retail to jump in first before they jump in. Some good stuff there. Robert said regulation. That's what I would have thought too, man. Timmy said Bitcoin above 32 or 28K. I mean, I guess that kind of goes in line with what this article says and what our friend Mike Novogratz is saying. He goes on to say, quote, crypto needs the retail participants to come back to these communities to buy in, to believe, to drive price because that's what's going to get institutions back engaged. Institutions intellectually understand this business. They understand blockchain versus Bitcoin versus Ethereum. They've done all their homework, but they're gun shy. It's going to take energy, and energy is price. Do you guys agree? Do you guys agree that institutions need retail to get in first? My first thinking is, okay, we kind of figured, all right, we're capitulating, right? We're in a bear market. Retail is out. Prices are cheap. Institutions are going to come in, pump up the price, and sell that inflated price to the retail. But Mike Novogratz is saying the opposite. He's saying institutions want retail to get in first, and then for them to get in. Hoosier says nonsense. Guys, remember, this is just one person's opinion, right? I'm not sure who he's talked to, or obviously he's more plugged in with these institutions and big whale investors than I am or anyone that I know is. But again, this is just one man's opinion. Exactly. Robert said, not sure I agree. Yeah, it just didn't make sense off the top, off the top of my head. But what do you guys think? Give me your thoughts. All right. One more thing I want to show here. So this is from cryptoglobe.com. Make sure I'm sharing the screen. Yes. It says Block Tower Capital's CIO explains how Bitcoin price could reach 110,000 by the end of next year. Ari Paul, who's the chief investment officer and managing partner at crypto investment firm Block Tower, shared his latest thoughts. Now, if you're not familiar, Block Tower is a leading crypto hedge fund based in Connecticut and was founded in 2017 by a former vice president at Goldman Sachs, where he spent 11 years. His name was Matt Goetz, or Matt Goetz, or Goetz and Goetz and Goetz and Goetz and Goetz. Don't laugh at me, bro. Yesterday, Paul told his over 222,000 Twitter followers that he expects that by the end of 2024, the price of Bitcoin will surpass $110,000. He supports his prediction by looking back over the 5-year period starting in 2017 and the current macroeconomic climate, which should bring in a significant influx of fiat from traditional financial products, much like Grayscale Bitcoin Trust did in the past. I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you think that macroeconomic factors, and obviously this probably has a lot to do with, can we get Broke Yoshi? He said, Broke Yoshi said, can we get your son to swing the hammer at your desk? No, because you made that hammer and I don't want to ruin the hammer, and I paid for this desk and I don't want to lose out on money because, yeah. XRP Hitman said, good looking kid, lucky dad. Thank you, my friend. I appreciate you guys. So BGT Shoe said, best gaming coin. I'm not the gamer here, my friend. My co-host Robin is. And so come back tomorrow. Just be quiet. You're not a gamer. So come back tomorrow at 10:30 a.m. and we will ask that question to Robin, and he'll tell you his favorite gaming coins. So yeah, guys, that's kind of the news that I wanted to cover today. I am open to doing a little Q&A for maybe the next 5 to 10 minutes or so. And so first and foremost, if you're new here, please say hello. This is not our typical stream time. We typically go live Monday through Friday at 10:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. We're doing a little nice stream on Mondays for now. All right, I'll start with the first question that HP asked me. He asked me, what are my 5 top altcoins going into to the next bull run? And so I'll tell you what my top 5 are, okay? This is in no specific order, all right? Cardano, and I'm not including Bitcoin or ETH, okay? These are my top 5. And of course, guys, not saying this is what you should invest in, but this is what me personally, from my research and what I like, this is what I'll be holding the biggest bags of outside of Bitcoin and ETH moving into the next bull market. In no order: Cardano, XRP, Polygon Matic, Quant. It was Cosmos, but it might be Filecoin, man. I don't know. It was Cosmos. It might be Filecoin. Now, guys, these are my top 5. I am very well diversified. I have about 12 to 15 crypto tokens that I have a decent amount of money in. I do have some, I call them lottery long shots. I don't even count those because I expect those to go to zero. Algorand, Hedera Hashgraph, Internet Computer, Phantom, which Phantom's been pumping. Some Flow is another big one as well. I forgot to mention Flow. I have a decent amount of Flow. I'm actually delegating to the staking pool in Flow as well. I think I've gained like maybe 30 Flow tokens over the last month and a half or a month or so. So there's tons of good projects. And, you really can't go wrong if you go for the solid projects, and especially the ones that have been around for a bear market. And so that's kind of my thoughts as far as what I'm looking at. XRP Hitman said, any thoughts on Flare Network? So we had Jenna XRP on the show, XRP Jenna. She'll be joining us again next month. But her thing was the Flare airdrop was excuse my language, was a shit show. So that I didn't get any Flare token airdrop. I know it's supposed to bring smart contracts to the mainnet. What are you doing? Stop! You're distracting me.
What?
Yeah.
Oh.
Shh. So yeah, HP. I know what you're talking about. You're missing Cardano, but yeah, Cardano. Not making my top 5, but I will have a decent bag of that as well. So I'm not too well versed in Flare or the token airdrop or how it went. I'm going based off of what the XRP expert said it was a complete shit show. People are not happy. Of course, the token price dumped, which happens every airdrop, right? You get airdrop free money into your wallet. You're going to take your profits. All right. Pet Brett said, I thought I was your son. No, you're not my son. Rob got you into Filecoin. It's not just Rob, but every project Rob's talked about, right? And I'm not just saying just mentions. I'm talking about what he talks about and continues to talk about. He's been pretty on the money, man. He did that with a token I cannot name. He also did that with Avalanche. He did that with Solana before Solana, when Solana was around $20. And so, he's been saying Filecoin. The only issue I have with Filecoin, and I haven't done an in-depth into the inflation schedule or how that's going to work, but less than 20% of their total supply is circulating. And to me, like, that's just not enough to have a substantial amount of money in. So Ben said, why Filecoin? Well, part of the reason why is their utility, right? Data storage and decentralized data storage. Part of it is it's been through a bear market, right? It didn't drop below its past bear market high or bear market lows, which is right around $2.50. And also, it's like 50x off its all-time highs. We're talking about a top 35 project that's 50x off its all-time highs. That's already been through a bear market. We know they're going to be around. We don't know anything for sure, but we can assume they're going to be around, right? And it's like a 50x from a top 50 coin. Like you gotta throw some money at it, right? I'm not saying FOMO in or go all the way in on something like Filecoin, but like I said, the same thing with Solana when it was at $8, right? The only thing with Solana is my biggest issue with Solana was, as when it comes to price and the last market top, was if Alameda and Sam Bankman-Fried weren't manipulating the price of Solana and didn't have so much sway over it, would the all-time high have been $250? Like, I don't know. So, but $8, even if it gets to half of that, we're talking about close to a 20x out of a top 5 layer one in terms of total value locked and the positioning on the coin market cap, the ranking. So that's kind of my thought. Jules said Cadina's co-founder Stuart leaked modular blockchain integration today during today's AMA. Didn't see it, man. Don't know much about it, but hey, should I go watch it? Let me know. Should I go watch it? Also, guys, drop some comments. I'm doing a little Q&A here. I got just a few short minutes before I sign off. So if there's any questions you guys have, throw it out there. Yes, as my son said, please put it in the comments. Of course, now we're getting up to 101 people. Quant is also my biggest holding. What has convinced you of this? Well, we had a debate on our show, Quant or Filecoin, right? And Robin took Quant because he said, Robin took Filecoin because it's so far off its all-time high. I took Quant, even though it's less than 2x off its all-time high, because of what I think, like, what's going to be the hot topic or what's popular moving into the next bull market, right? We're already seeing and hearing it now is CBDCs. And what is a software as a service, not really a blockchain, essentially a layer 0 that's interoperable with everything. They have I believe it was the Overledger technology. And so on top of that, 14 million tokens. That's it. That's less than Bitcoin. And so, and we did do by the way, if you're not sure what Quant is, with the help of our friend HP, we did put out a deep dive on Quant. It's one of our better performing videos. Make sure to go watch that. The information is still relevant today. We filmed that about 6-7 months ago. But for me, I look at, all right, tokenomics look great. We're talking 14 million tokens and all of them are in circulation. Amazing. Talking about project team founder Gilbert Verdian has ties to high level government. I'm talking Fed, IRS, over in the UK, the Queen's Treasury or whatever that thing is called, the royal whatever. Yeah, haka. Okay, cool, man. That's kind of my thing. And on top of that, utility, what it's going to provide, the interoperability. And so I'm pretty bullish on Quant. I bought some under $100. And so, yeah, that's my position on Quant. HP said, David is the king of blockchain parlay. Man, that was crazy. Yeah, I did beat Robin 7 weeks in a row. So he might have fake rolled 77 sevens at the casino, but I really beat him 7 weeks in a row on our blockchain parlay. If you're not familiar with what we're talking about, that was in the early days of Sin City Crypto, where we used to do giveaways until YouTube shut us down. So, all right, guys, I am going to sign off. Thank you guys so much. Probably going to do this again next Monday night. And so spread the word. Let's get more people in here next time. And if you're new here, subscribe to the channel, like the video on your way out, and make sure that you come back tomorrow at 10:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time for our live show. Absolutely. You want to come here? Why don't you say bye to the homies?
Bye, guys. And subscribe.
Subscribe, bro. Subscribe. All right. Love you guys. We'll see you later.
Peace.
Peace.